Well, the Kremlin says a planned summit with the U.S. on Ukraine is, quote, premature, but that a call or meeting between Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Joe Biden could be set up at any moment. That's after a story broke overnight that the French president, Emmanuel Macron, had organized a potential summit between the Russian and U.S. leaders. Biden, though, has said talks would only happen if Russia doesn't invade its neighbor. Well, for more now on reaction from Russia, let's bring in Jake Cordell from the Moscow Times. Jake, what do you read into this possible summit between Putin and Biden, given what's been coming out of the Kremlin this morning?
Yeah, the Kremlin quite down on this idea of a summit. This wasn't just a usual dismissal saying nothing's been planned or they needed to sort out a date. They actually even seem to question the logic of a summit at this point between Biden and Putin. Now, they'll be wary that there's a meeting between foreign ministers, Antony Blinken and Sergei Lavrov, taking place on Thursday. And they'll probably want to be hearing what exactly a meeting with Joe Biden could bring. They want to know, is the US simply playing for time by holding another summit, or is Joe Biden willing to offer something that the US hasn't offered before? Russia has said that the US needs to consider all its proposals. Those are that NATO never expands to admit Ukraine as a member, and that the US pull back its forces from other NATO members in Central and Eastern Europe. The Kremlin will want to know, are those still non-starters from the US? And if they are, they probably don't see any point in holding another summit.
Jake, we're talking now about some 150,000 troops that are on the Russian border of Ukraine. What more do we know at the moment about that buildup and about the chances of an eventual Russian invasion?
Well, we know that the buildup has escalated. The estimates started, remember, 100,000, then we went to 130. Now the estimates have settled on around 150,000 troops plus hardware. Crucially, we also know that Russia was meant to end military exercises in Belarus, located to the north of Ukraine, yesterday. But in a surprise announcement, the Belarusian Defense Ministry said that Russian forces would stay perhaps indefinitely in Belarus. Now, this has been pointed to from the West and NATO as a real red flag. This is something they saw as a possible sign that Putin could be serious about an invasion. Meanwhile, in eastern Ukraine, reports of ceasefire violations are going up every day. This morning, we've seen allegations from Russian side that a projectile from the Ukrainian side knocked down a border post. So these kind of incidents are rising all the more. And the fear is that with tensions so high, as the Kremlin has said, any kind of small incident could trigger a much larger escalation of the situation.
Jake, thanks for that. Jake Cordell reporting for us from Moscow.